The video you're about to watch depicts criminal acts of human trafficking. Stereotypes posed are statistically based, including that the human trafficking industry is heavily sexist. Those induced into sex trafficking are typically female, while those induced into labor trafficking are typically male. While sex trafficking is more prevalent and female-based, this video in no way asserts that males in sex trafficking or the issue of labor trafficking is lesser in any way. The video merely attempts to present information to you via the most popular stereotypes, but certainly does not present all possible situations for any demographic. Human trafficking affects all demographics, just not equally.
What she said.
Here's the last episode of Criminal Minds.
Wait. All the statistics embedded in the episode are either from the Covering House or the Polaris Project. To figure out which ones are which, see the link below. It's a copy of the script with citations. Okay, now you can watch the video.
Hey Morgan, can I talk to you for a sec?
Sure.
There are 4 female victims that have been dumped over the past month in northern rural St. Louis. The autopsy on the victims show that they were heavily drugged for long periods of time, malnourished, and show extensive sexual trauma. They think it might have been linked to sex traffickers.
They think they're all connected?
Yeah, they all have the same MO.
Alright, get everybody in the squad room.
We're looking at a potential sex trafficking instance gone wrong. Maybe attempted escapes that wound up the victims here, but the similarity in bruising patterns and the final execution shots indicate that they were likely held and then killed in the same manner.
All the victims are white, so I'm thinking that it's a white killer.
Most traffickers stay within the same ethnic and cultural groups to more easily manipulate their victims, so probably.
What do you think the motive is?
Human trafficking is a $150 billion industry globally and generates about $9.5 billion yearly in the US, so it's probably money-driven. If the girls were protesting or trying to escape, he probably killed them to keep up his profit levels. Did you know the average sex trafficking victim is forced to have sex 22 to 48 times a day?
Good to know, Reed.
Do we have any information about the girls yet?
No, Captain Johnson said he'd give us more information when we got there. Reed, what are the chances that our victims knew the killer?
About 54% of human trafficking victims don't know their kidnapper, so presuming the kidnapper and the killer are the same person, there's a 46% chance that the girls knew the person who victimized them. Most of these girls were missing a long time, though. At that point, they should have been forced into their role, so why kill them now?
Maybe they tried to escape.
Doubtful. Not this late in the game. Most victims this late wouldn't be killed unless they were no longer profitable to their owner, whether that be for looks, because of drugs, abuse, or disease.
The girls do appear to have some minor bruises and scars, but do you think it's weird that they were all killed around the same time?
Maybe the clientele was looking for something new.
No, they would just sell the girls instead of kill them.
Maybe they almost got busted or had a scare of getting caught by the police for something else, so we had to get rid of them quickly.
But then they all would have been dumped and found together.
Not necessarily. Not if our killer was trying to disguise it and make them seem unrelated.
True. So are we looking for someone who's already got an arrest warrant out for them?
I'm not convinced. These guys spook easy. Even if they caught wind that someone was going to tell the police, they'd just move the girls. They move them all the time. This could have just been an unsatisfied client spooking our killer into getting rid of his girls.
I'd buy it.
Stop that.
Are you recording? All right, Missouri, here we come.
Thank you for coming, Agent Morgan. This case makes me sick to my stomach with how young these little girls are.
I'm not surprised. 5.5 million victims of human trafficking are children, about 100,000 new ones a year, and 55% of them are female, but the statistic is way higher in sex trafficking.
Are you a robot or something?
No, she's just Reed.
What other information do you have up there, Agent Reed?
It's Dr. Reed, and the top 20 cities in the United States with human trafficking problems are Houston, El Paso, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Chicago, Charlotte, Miami, Las Vegas, New York, Long Island, New Orleans, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Phoenix, Richmond, San Diego, San Francisco, St. Louis, Seattle, and Tampa.
Victim A is Lindsay Hart. She was a wealthy girl who never came home from a friend's house about a year ago. Her parents said she didn't work anywhere at the time, but she did have a boyfriend. And the friend said she never even showed up that night, so they have no idea where she was.
Can I go? Alright, victim B is Sarah Carter, who was reported missing by her babysitter after not coming home to get her child for 2 days. She was working 2 jobs, and her child was placed in foster care shortly after the reported disappearance.
Go.
You filming?
Mm-hmm.
The police thought she ran away to start over until they found her body 2 weeks ago. Victim C is Michelle Edwards. She ran away from home 3 years ago after a fight with her parents. She had done it before and they figured she'd come home, but after she didn't, her parents notified the police, but she was never found until last Monday anyways.
Alright, the final victim, victim D, was Erin Williams. She was a domestic abuse victim that was in the middle of the trial against her mother when she disappeared. She was found 3 days ago.
They could have all met this dude through some type of work or business interaction. They're all from northeastern end of St. Louis, and most of them were working on a couple of jobs. Hey, baby girl, you're on speaker.
What's up, Super Special Agent Morgan?
I need you to see if there was any connection between the employers of our 4 victims.
I don't see any noticeable overlap with the employers, but check this out. Both Aaron and Michelle have worked part-time as day spa assistants, and there seems to be a lot of credit card charges to the day spas by Leslie. But none of the spas were the same. I don't know if that helps at all.
It does. Think you can do one more thing for me?
Sure.
Get me a list of all white males who own or manage a spa or hotel in northern St. Louis with at least an acre of land and fax it to me.
Already on it.
You're the best.
I know.
I think we're ready to give the profile. The person we're looking for is likely male and could be in anywhere from his mid-30s to early 50s. He has to have some level of fitness and strength to dominate these girls, and likely owns a relatively successful business at which he hides the girls. He's the type of guy that would sell his family for the right price. He has very little value for sentiment in human life.
He probably owns a hotel or a spa of some sort in a secluded area, somewhere he could hold the girls and conduct business both legally and for human traffic simultaneously. He may also be using other female victims to recruit in new ones, so don't be surprised by this, expect it.
Here's a list of potential suspects. Divide it up and do your best to see what you can do to uncover about each of these possible unsubs. I know it's a lot of names, but it's the best we've got right now. And don't make this public. If the trafficker begins to think we're onto him, he'll just move the girls and we'll have to start from scratch. Or at this rate, he might even kill them if he thinks we're closing in. So use discretion. Thanks, that's all.
So do you think we'll catch him?
Probably not.